We're going to look at solving two-step inequalities today. Two-step inequality is just, we're going to handle them the same way as equations, but there's maybe one little twist at the very end that we have to worry about. So whenever we solve an equation, we always want to go in that reverse order of operations, always starting with adding and subtracting. In order to get away from the x, in order to isolate the x, I have multiplication, I have addition. I have to take care of the addition first. So we have plus 2, I'm going to subtract 2. Negative 3x, because they're next to each other, that means multiplication. In order to undo multiplication, we divide. And we divide by that number touching that x. All right, those 3's on the left cancel. You're left with just x. You're left with negative 2 on the right. Why didn't I fill in the inequality? Because what did we divide by? We divided by a negative number. If you multiply or divide by a negative number, this inequality symbol has to flip and go the other direction. If we're to graph that now, open or close circle at negative 2, no equal sign, so that means open. X is greater, x is larger. What's a number bigger than negative 2? 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Everything to the right. Okay? In the middle here, I want to get x alone. Multiplication, subtraction, got to take care of the adding and subtracting first. So let's add 3 to both sides. All right. I want to get away from x. I got to move that front 2. So that's what I'm going to divide by. Those 2's cancel. X, negative 1. Well, I'm getting a negative as an answer. So doesn't that mean that I'm going to flip the inequality? No. I divided by a positive. That's fine. It's only when I multiply or divide by a negative that this inequality has to change. I'm allowed to get a negative answer. That's they're numbers as well. So bring that inequality symbol down, and we'll leave that. Let's graph that. Open or close circle, because there's an equal sign, we fill it in. X is less than negative 1. What's smaller than negative 1? What's worse than owing $1? How about owing $2, $3, $4, $5? All your negative numbers still left. Lastly, in order to isolate this variable, in order to get x alone, I have to move the fraction, I got to move the 2. Multiplication, addition, I got to start with the 2, always with the adding and subtracting first. Subtract 2, subtract 2. Okay? Whenever you have a fraction, in order to move a fraction from one side to the other, we always move it by using we always multiply by the inverse. Nope. Multiply by its reciprocal. Now be very careful. If I do this, it looks like these numbers are getting subtracted, but I really want to multiply them. Let's make sure there's just parentheses there. Why? Because 3's cancel, negatives cancel, and you're left with just x. I could do the same thing to the other side. Negative 3 over 1. Do I need that over 1 part? Nope. If there's ever a 1, let's ignore it. We don't need the fraction. We are left with negative 9. Now, before I do anything with the inequality, did I multiply or divide by negative? Multiply by negative. Yes. Inequality has to flip. So let's put it the other way. Let's graph. At negative 9, open or close circle. Well, there's an equal sign. Close. X is less than. X is smaller. What's worse than owing $9? Owing 10, 11, 12, and so on. And that is graphing two-step inequalities.